Bien, todo configurado. Vamos a comenzar con la sesión de hoy
Okay, we're all set. We'll begin today's session. This is the last webinar prior to the Connectathon that will be held in 8 days. Suleiman was showing us the countdown, and I hope to meet you all in 8 days' time, face to face in Sao Paulo. And if not, we will be in communication via internet. But the idea is for as many people that have registered to participate in order to run the tests, or even if you're just observers, it would be important for you to participate in the Connectathon. Today's webinar seeks to show some aspects of the agenda and to explain how the event is structured. As you may remember, the Connectathon falls within the framework of a larger event conducted by PAHO, and I'll show you a general map of what is considered in this event, and after that I'll move on to a more detailed agenda of the activities and the technical part of the Connectathon, subject to changes, of course, in the last week. There are always some changes, but in general terms, the spaces have already been clearly defined in terms of the time available during each one of the days. I'll also present or introduce the team of monitors who will be on site, indicating each one of the roles, so that we're clear on that as well. We have appointed monitors for each country, and I'll explain that in using a slide. And after that, of course, I'll offer the floor to Suleiman, who will be sharing some final considerations that should be taken into consideration for the event that will take place in 8 days' time. Welcome, everyone, then. To begin with, the context of where this Connectathon was created, obviously the LACPASS project, and the countries that you see there are the countries that are formally participating in the LACPASS country. These are fewer countries than the ones that will be participating in Connectathon. And obviously, if you want to join the LACPASS initiative or the Raxel initiative, the door is open for you all. And the Connectathon, obviously, it will be a good possibility to discuss these other possibilities. So if you're in the Connectathon, but you're not in the LACPASS Raxel project or teams, we can discuss that. Part of this Connectathon was created as the final milestone of the second phase of the LACPASS project that seeks to hold this exchange of data. Um, and that is the genesis of this work that we have conducted. Let's move on to the points related to the Connectathon. The first point that I mentioned is that this event falls within the framework of a larger event held by PAHO, which is Relaxis 4.0, and therefore many things will be happening in parallel. And that is why in the invitations to the whole event, we have asked for different profiles, technical profiles to participate in the Connectathon, other more strategic profiles for different discussions that will be held between the 12th and 15th of November. The Connectathon lasts until the 14th of November, but the bigger event lasts for one more day. We have 17 countries registered in Raxel. Some will participate via internet, but they are the ones enabled to run the tests or to participate as observers if that is the way in which they registered. The task for monitors is very demanding. It involves checking the whole cycle of tests for all 17 countries, and that is why we have tried to distribute the burden, define the roles of each one of the persons of the staff members that will be present in Brazil, and those that will also be supporting via internet. And that is something that I'll show you a little bit later on. The whole event, as I mentioned, lasts one day in addition to the Connectathon. We began with this general scheme, which is also subject to last-minute changes, of course, but in general terms, many things will be happening within the Relaxis event. And what summons us is what is in purple, which is the Conectathon track within the whole event. We'll begin on Sunday the 12th, and we'll begin on Tuesday the 14th of November at midday. So we begin on Sunday morning. We'll be working on Sunday until about 1500 hours, and we will be working until Tuesday the 14th, until midday, working on the technical tracks of the Connectathon. The idea is that on Tuesday afternoon, we can show the results of that test, as we did during the last Connectathon. And during the first day, we'll probably be working in around many configurations and so on. But this is what I wanted to show you so that you can understand that many things will be happening in parallel. There'll be many presentations and many other discussions and meetings that will be taking place at the same time. But of course, there are moments when we all meet together. For example, the results of the Connectathon. We will conclude our work in that room, and we will then immediately move on to show the results to all the participants. Now, let's move on to day one. This agenda is subject to changes, I insist, but these are the activities that we have designed. We begin on Sunday, 12th of November at 9 a.m. and from 9 to 10 we will have the registration process, the process of accommodating participants in the spaces that we have defined and so on, initial configurations, so that we can begin with a welcoming words at around 10 in the morning. We will have the whole day to work on the initial configurations, and hopefully we can test or run some tests at the end of the first day. We have decided not to conduct these track activities in a linear manner, despite the fact that there are some activities that are linear. Track 2, for example, has some linear elements, but despite those specific issues, a team could perfectly well, for example, share the burden and participate simultaneously in track 1 and track 2. On the first day, we will be working until 1600 hours. And so the idea is for us to benefit fully from this first day. In the middle, we'll be listening to some support team presentations, especially at the beginning and at the end of the day. What we do, well, at the beginning of the day, we share some initial instructions, and at the end, we have a kind of wrap-up session. On day 2, Monday, I have separated this into AM and PM. Again, the same dynamic. We begin with a review of the results of the previous day, whether there are still some pending doubts or possibilities for improvement, and to provide initial instructions for that day's work. We will be working on tracks 1 and track 2A and track 2B. If people will be there to work on that, it is possible to do that. In parallel, we will have some parallel sessions related to some issues. This does not include all the issues because I have focused on Connectathon issues, but there are other sessions that are in the document that I haven't shown you here. But of course, we will be sending you the final program by the end of next week to all of you, and we have to publish that. After the lunch break, we will continue the whole afternoon until 17:45 hours, working on the tracks. And the idea is, again, to share some partial results at the end of the day and raise any doubts that may appear. On the third day, on Tuesday the 14th, the Connectathon ends as a technical event at midday, because we have to provide results in the afternoon, and therefore we will only be working half a day or that morning on that day. And in parallel, we have defined that despite the fact that there are some points that are different from the tracks. If you're able to distribute your workload, you could participate in those as well. So technical teams are free to decide the best way to work, and a lot will depend on who are present from the team, who are working via internet and so on. And of course, the open sessions are available in parallel, and we will be providing the final agenda for them as well during next week, hopefully. So that is what we have structured in terms of the 3 days, 3 working days. The event lasts an additional day. It ends on Wednesday, the 14th at midday, and the technical team will then be free to participate in activities there. But in terms of the Connectathon, we end on Tuesday, and so we have these 3 days for these Connectathon activities. Uh, in the two tracks that you know fairly well, track 1 and 2A, and the optional part, which is related to innovation, where some of you have already registered. I Let's say these are the verifiable milestones that we have discussed at length, and each verifiable milestone relates to the activities that we have been working on over the past 2 months, that have been these pre-Connectathon tests. And through this circuit, that we have worked on with each one of you, with each one of the tests that we have run with the technical teams and with the Ministry of Health teams, and therefore you should be capable of achieving each one of these milestones. Suleiman will be showing a little bit more details about that, both for track 1 and for track 2. And let's move on to the team. How we are trying to distribute this workload. We have 17 participants. It's a big effort, and many you have probably seen many of these people in the one-to-one meetings that we have held with countries, and we have distributed for track 1 and for track 2A the team that formed part of the squad and that participated in the support of the pre-Connectathon tests, and we have given them each 3 countries, and you'll be able to see there who will be focusing on your own country, on your own technical team, and who will probably be reviewing your tests. Alejandra, Lucia, and Marcelo, Nicolas, and Sergio, who will be on site uh, working with the countries that are indicated there. And this, of course, doesn't mean that they will be able uh, to interact with other countries that they have not been appointed to work with, especially if there are specific doubts that they are capable of answering, but we'll try and distribute them in this fashion. We'll have Albani, who will be working online, focused on Docker doubts, and if we have any queries related to this enabler, she will be supporting that part. And the rest of the team, well, we have will be supporting everyone. They have expertise in the Raxel platform. We also have Oliver, who will be working with us online, especially with IPS. And Malo, Alexander, Antonio, and Eric will be there working face to face. In addition to this, we have Antonio and Eric, who are in charge of track 2B, and they will be supporting all the countries that are participating in track 2B, and they will also be providing more guided instructions in order to work on those issues. So this is the whole team of monitors, with people from SENS, from CRIB, from DHI, and so on, from multiple institutions participating here in order to provide the best possible support. And those that will be working specifically will be Suleiman TM, who plays a role associated to the Raxel platform, and he will be working with me, conducting the general technical coordinations for the event. Oliver will be working online, but he is an FHIR expert working with the MHD and IPS validators, and Malo and Alexander will also be present there, and they will be supporting us with the Raxel tools. and Paulo Orefice, Fernando Portilla, who will be in charge of the general coordination. They can also, and me, of course, with more logistical aspects related to the event, general and technical coordination. We will all be very present because we will have to be, but they will be, all three of them will be part of the staff that you will see there during the Conectathon. This is where I conclude, and I offer the floor to Suleiman, who will mention other aspects that we needed to know.
Suleiman, if you want to present from your screen or I continue, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Sulaiman Cham from IHE Catalyst and Caraval. So Carlos already showed you the organization of the event, the support team, the Gazelle support team, and also the staff from Raxel, the monitors, and remind you the main track of the event and the calendar for each day. So on my side today, I would like to show you how the testing process will go on during the event, especially in Gazelle, how you can use Gazelle during the 3 days of the event. So before I go to Gazelle, I would like to remind you the calendar of the Conectaton. As you can see, there is 1 week left to the event. The registration is done for all country except one country. That's, I think it's Argentina. The preparatory test can start now because the validators, the DDCC validators is now available in Gazelle. I can show you afterwards. So you can use the validator to start your preparatory test on DDCC. So after that, we have the connectivity test we discussed last time. For the connectivity test, that's mostly for the country that are participating remotely to the event. It's only 3 countries, if my memory is good. But for those countries, it's not necessary to perform the connectivity test because all systems, all tools we will use during the event will be in the cloud. So there is no, you can test with those countries. If you are on site in Sao Paulo, you can test with those countries that are connecting remotely to the event. You can connect with them without any restriction. So that's why the connectivity test part, we didn't do it for this event because it's not necessary. So the event start on November 12 to 14, and you will get your final report at the end of November normally. So this is the slide that show the participant list per track. In the track 1, IPS and MHD, we have all countries that all the 17 countries that participating to the event are all registered for these 2 IHE profiles. After that, we have the WHO Digital Adaptation Kit. That's the profile DDCC and DDVC. That's the vaccination certificate. We have 13 countries that are participating. For LACChain, we have 7 countries. So if you see that your country is not in the right column, so let us know. You can send an email to Carlos, and Carlos will help you to update your system in Gazelle. But this is, at this time, this is the information we get in Gazelle. For each profile, you have the list of the participants. If you are not in the right column, or if your country is missing in DDVC or missing in LACChain, MHD, or IPS, please send an email to Carlos. He will update your system. So globally, we will have 17 member states, 9 from Latin America, 6 from Central America, and 2 from North America. So that shows that the event is not only for LACPASS, but it's generally for all the American continent. So this is a big event. So now I will explain you what's happened during the Conectaton. Maybe most of you already participate to the first LACPASS Conectaton and also the G20 pilot, but this event is a bit different. It's bigger than the G20, or it's bigger than the first LACPASS Conectaton, because we have more profiles, we have more track. So the size of the event is bigger than the event you know before. So that's why in Gazelle we need to show you we need to remind you the process to execute your test in the right way, especially, and also where you can get the support if needed. So in this slide, I show you the process. In the process, you have two systems, the system A and the system B. So during the first day of the event, or right now, you can get access to your test plan from the Gazelle Test Management. I can show you afterwards, based on your registration, how you can get your test plan in the Gazelle tools. So if you get access to your test plan for the peer-to-peer test, for example, you'll be able to find your test partner, you'll be able to run your test instance, and you'll be able also to log some evidence. So in this example, you have two systems, the system A and the system B. Let's suppose, for example, you are testing the profile MHD, the MHD profile. So the MHD profiles, if you check the implementation guide of MHD, let me switch to the MHD implementation guide. If you take the example of ITI 65, you have two actors, the document source and the document recipient. Okay, so let's suppose this system A is acting as a document source and the system B is acting as a document recipient. In Gazelle, in your test plan, Gazelle will tell you, okay, your system implement the document source, but in the same room, there is another country, they are testing the MHD profiles and they are acting as a document recipient. So they can test with you they can perform a peer-to-peer test with your system. So you'll be the system A, will act as a client, the document source, and the system B will act as a server, it will be the document recipient. So you will test the transaction ITI 65. So I will show you in Gazelle how you can get access to all of those information. So after that, Gazelle will give you the information of the participant B, the username, the system name, the country name, and everything you need to reach the country B to check if they are ready to perform the ITI 65 with you or not. So now you can, I can just show you in Gazelle how it looks like. Okay. Okay, so you see my screen. This is Gazelle. Okay. So this is Gazelle. When you get access to the Gazelle, let me go back. That's the Gazelle. Yeah, sorry. I cannot hear you. Okay. So this is the Gazelle LACPASS. So you need to get to, if you would like to get your test plan for the event, you need to click on Gazelle Test Management.
Yeah, Suleiman, yeah, you're not sharing.
Oh, okay.
Sharing your email.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay. Okay. So now is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so you need to go to the Gazelle raxelgazelle.org. Then you have the Gazelle Test Management tool. In the Gazelle Test Management tool, you have you can log in with your Gazelle credential. And when you log in, just make sure you are in the right testing session. Gazelle LACPASS Conectaton 2023, Sao Paulo. And when you get to this page, you have two choices. You can get your test plan by clicking on display button, test execution, or you can get your test plan by going to testing, then you have the submenu test execution. That's exactly this. You have two ways to do it to reach to this page. So in this page, you just need to make sure when you reach this page, you just need to make sure that your system is displayed here, the system under test. So let's suppose, for example, I select Uruguay. So Uruguay is my system under test. I'm from Uruguay. I'm testing. I'm from Uruguay and I'm going to test my system during the LACPASS Conectaton. So make sure your system name is displayed here. That's the same system you create during your registration. So after that, you can select the profile you register for. For example, Uruguay, they register for DDVC, they register for IPS, they register for MHD. If you would like to get access to your test plan for DDCC, you need to select the profiles. When you select the profile, then you have two types of tests, the preparatory and the Conectaton. For the preparatory, that's the list of the tests you need to execute before coming to the event. If you don't have time to execute your preparatory test before coming to Sao Paulo, never mind, we can do it during the first day. But ideally, it's good if you can do it before coming to the event. So for DDVC, you have some preparatory. Uruguay, for example, they already start doing performing their preparatory, so it's a good. Congratulations. So when you come to this page, you have this menu. You have this section. In this section, it says, this is the name of your system. This is the Uruguay system name. After that, Gazelle says, okay, Uruguay implement the DDCC content creator. Okay. And for this implementation, to validate if this implementation is correct for this system, Gazelle requires you to execute this test. That's the create DDCC COVID certificate. Okay, so this is the name of the test you need to execute. This is the type of the test. It's preparatory. The optionally says if the test is required or optional. In this case, this test is required. Okay, it's a no-peer test. You don't need any partner to execute this test. So if you would like to execute this test, for example, you need to click on the green button and then click again on the green button to get access to the full description of the test. Then you can execute the test, then upload your evidence here by clicking on upload a file. And after that, you just need to change the status has to be verified. It will go to the monitor's work list and then they will check your evidence if everything is correct or not. So this is how to execute the no-peer test. And this is how to find also your test plan for DDVC. Also, you have the other type of test, that's the Conectaton. For the Conectaton, you do not need to execute it before the event. You need to wait for the event in Sao Paulo to execute your Conectaton test. Okay. So for the Conectaton, you need to select Conectaton, and then you can see also the list of the Conectaton tests you need to execute for these actors. For example, you have to execute this test. You have to execute this test also. And all of these tests are required, and then you need to click on the play button to start your test. So this is for DDVC. That's exactly the same for IPS. For IPS, you need to you have two types also, preparatory. If you don't have time to execute your preparatory test for IPS, you can wait during the event, the first day, you can do it. And also you have the Conectaton. In the Conectaton, for this Conectaton, you have, for example, on IPS profiles, you have two actors, the content creator, and the second actor, I think it's the content consumer. Okay, so for example, let's suppose I would like to execute the content consumer test cases. Okay, so before executing the content consumer test cases, this one, the IPS export import file, Gazelle show me the list of my possible partner for this test. If you click on it, Gazelle will show you the list of the partner you can select to perform this test. Because the goal of this test is to pick from the sample list is to pick an IPS document from another country. For example, I am from Uruguay. My possible partner are Uruguay, Brazil, Ecuador, Suriname. So I need to select one of these countries in this list, and then check if I can read their IPS document or not. That's the goal of this test. So this is the list of my possible partner. If I would like to run this test and select one of these partners, I need to click on the play button. And when I click on the play button, Gazelle will ask you to select your partner from that list. So you can see exactly the same countries: Uruguay, Brazil, Suriname, Panama, and all the countries that are implementing IPS. So I can select, for example, Brazil, and then click add this button, add selected partner, and then run my test and sums. So now I can run my test. So you have the full description of the test. It's explained how to perform this test, and at the end you need to upload your evidence in the last steps. And once everything is done, you just need to click on to be verified. So you will go to the monitor's work list. So let me give you another example. This is the example for IPS. Now the last example will be for MHD. So on MHD, let's select MHD. Okay. So on MHD, just be careful, but I share the information to the monitor, so they will guide you during all the events. So on MHD, you need to select your system name here. You need to select the MHD profiles, and you need to select also your profiles, because only the actors that are acting has a client, not a server. If you are testing, for example, ITI 65, you need to select the document source, because in the ITI 65, the client is the document source and the document recipient is the server. So in Gazelle, you need to, let me switch back to the test execution. In Gazelle, you need to select for the ITI 65, you need to select the document source. If you select the document source, Gazelle will tell you have two different tests to execute. ITI 65 with mediator, ITI 65 without mediator. So Gazelle will tell you also that this test is required. You need to execute it before leaving Sao Paulo. And you need to execute also this test 3 times with 3 different partners. You have your partner list in this group. So you can select, check which partner you would like to test with, Chile or Peru or Panama. So you need to click on the play button again, select your partner you would like to test with, and then do the same exercise, add selected partner, and then click on the green button like this, and then read the description of the test, run the test, and do everything, add your evidence at the end, and set the status as to be verified. So this is for MHD ITI 65. Just another example, let me go back to my test plan, then select my system Uruguay, the MHD profiles, and now I would like to test the ITI 68. For the ITI 68, the client is the consumer. Okay, when I select the client, Gazelle will say, okay, for the document consumer, you have 2 transactions, ITI 65 and ITI 68 to execute. For each test, you need to execute it 3 times with 3 different partners. This is the list of your possible partner. If you would like to execute this test, you need to click on the play button and then do the same process I showed you in the previous example. So after that, let me go back to my slide. Can you see my slide now?
No, still seeing Gazelle.
Okay. Okay, so this is exactly the process we explain you in this slide. You have 2 systems, system A that are initiating the test instance in Gazelle. The system A will select their possible partner, will get access to their test plan, and then will execute the test and log their evidence with the system, for the test they execute with the system B. So after that, monitors will come and then grade the test, check if they have all the evidence, and give you a final status for that test. If the test is failed, it will come to you and explain you why the test is failed. The monitors can help you also to execute the test again. If you forget, for example, the process I show you in this page, where to find your profiles, the actor that are acting as a client for MHD, the monitors will help you. So this is the role of the monitors. And after that, you have the support team. That's the Gazelle support team. Sometimes in the Conectaton or Projectaton, we have some issues, and the issues comes from the specification. It can be it can come from the LACPASS specification or IHE specification. So the Gazelle support team will be there to check if the issues come to the tool, or if the issues comes to your system, or if the issues comes to the specification, IHE specification or LACPASS specification. If the issues comes to the Gazelle tools, for example, so right now, during the event, we need to fix the bug quickly and then allow you to perform your test again. If it comes to the specification, we need to raise a ticket and then talk to the LACPASS member who's managing the specification, or we will raise that ticket to IHE committee that are managing that specification. So their role is they are playing a key role during the event. So they need to analyze all the type of issues we are having during all the events. It's come from the tool, the specification, or your systems. They will tell you where it comes from. So globally, this is the Projectaton process. I hope it's clear enough for everyone. Anyway, if it's not clear, in Sao Paulo, we can introduce you this again. But anyway, the monitors, they know the way to find your test, to help you to find your test plan. They will help you also to find your possible partner if needed, and then help you for execution of the test. And also, I will send a document to Carlos that explain this process with some screen shot. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you. We have 15 minutes left. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.